Hello there, everyone, and greetings. Welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot. And I'm kind of decked out here a little bit today, mostly because I'm going to switch up my reading a little bit, and I'm moving from the configuration I was using to a similar one. We're still going to get nearly the same amount of cards, but it's more based on a pentagram, and it'll have, the star formation and a card in the center. So once again, dark gifts for everyone. Goth Tarot sort of examines the relationship between our shadow selves and what's going on elsewhere in the world that we have to kind of get along. So my Goth reading starts with the top point of the star. There we go. And I call this point one the dark design. So it's the overall focus, the environment, things going on around you, what you might need to be concerned with. And it's your relationship. It's our relationships. It's the Two of Cups. It's upright. So I think the focus right now should be on our relationships. It should be on whether or not we have harmony, whether we have trust. If not, maybe we have to examine what's going on in our relationships. So this is a call to all of us to whether, well, it mostly speaks to those of us who are in relationships. It could be saying that for those not in relationships, they may be finding more ability to do that, to move into relationship at this time, finding people, someone that they feel compatible and harmonious with. Okay, so that was the dark design. We're now going to move to the dark shadows, and the dark shadows are like the things that haunt us. So the relationship there is what is still holding us back, what is holding us in fear, or what are we afraid of, or what do we feel has some sort of hold on us, so to speak. And so for this deck, by the way, the first deck I used was in case you're wondering, was the beautiful Santa Muerte Tarot by Los Scarabeo. This is another Los Scarabeo that I use for the dark shadows. It's the Ghost Tarot, and it's different artists, of course. The Ghost Tarot, I use it because I like its themes of afterlife. So I think it's appropriate for the idea of saying that maybe what haunts us is possibly something from the spirit world, but more likely it's just darker aspects of ourselves that we're not able to let go or process properly. And so to speak, it's the reversed Three of Wands. It's like a ghost ship. Many Three of Wands seem to have the ship motif. So star-wise, I'm going to put you down there so you're kind of going this way, like the invoking pentagram. What haunts you, I think, is that you don't feel you've planned properly, or that you realize that your plans are not working out for you. Your plans are not in motion. You don't feel like you have the basis of, some sort of success or foundation to work from. And this could apply to a number of areas of your life, but you're just feeling like in terms of planning anything new, whether it's moving ahead into a job or maybe it's moving into a new relationship, you feel like you don't have experience, or like you feel like you're out of your depth in some way. So that's not a good feeling, of course. So then point three is the dark drama. And I've decided to bring back a deck of cards that I haven't used in Goth Tarot in a while. It's the Vampire Tarot. And I like it because the dark drama, I guess, is really what's sucking the energy out of you. What are the dramas that are possibly good? I mean, maybe some of these cards are good in this context, but basically it's what's sucking life and energy out of you right now. What is the vampiric kind of energy that drains you? And this is not a low scarabeo deck, just in case you're wondering. So as we follow the pentagram, we come to, as I said, the dark drama. And it's the Empress. And, you know, so that kind of sits kind of in opposition to what the dark shadows was, what we felt was biting into our energy. This is really saying that the drama, the influences of others or the influences from around us, that's what the dark drama is, are trying to have creation promoting yourself, promoting projects, being involved in growthful things. That's where influences are coming. So maybe there's a situation where maybe someone is trying to get you more involved in the kind of projects or things they want, or maybe the things they think are good for you. And maybe this card is talking about that fear of doing that. Maybe somebody wants you to be more out in the real world, away from, you know, whatever world you are in, and they're trying to pull you into that. So maybe it's about this relationship. I don't know. Maybe it is a question about where harmony and love and trust are in your set of relationships at this time. So it seems to me like we're moving towards a dark twist now, some other way of understanding that there's an unexpected thing that could happen that could really change this. Maybe it's something that we have, but we don't know it yet, or maybe it's just something that needs to be revealed for all sides, all factions to understand. A dark twist that either puts a different context on it or could shift where things are going somewhere else. I have to admit, I'm not really sure if this is just really more on the emotional level between your ambitions or maybe your unwillingness to get involved in something, but somebody else wanting to bring you into that. I don't know, it's kind of weird, kind of goofy. So I used the Black Tarot, which again is not a low scarabeo, for the dark twist. And so we've been tracing the pentagram. So this is the next point, the fourth point. The dark twist is the upright Five of Wands. So there's a paradox in a way here, because this is saying involving you in something, you know, maybe there's competition, maybe there is an association, a social group or situation to put yourself into that would maybe resolve this. And so I don't know exactly what there is to resolve here. It could just be that you have different ideas about what you want to do, but the only way you can position yourself against another someone else's ideas for you or sensibilities for you is to maybe find a different way to be involved somewhere, to find your own sense of involvement in a social sphere. It's still kind of goofy for me. You know, usually it takes to the end before I finally figure out what's going on. I'm sorry. But so in that case, we are back to low Scarabeo style decks with the Night Sun Tarot. And this is where we look at point 5, the dark truth. What is a reality here that maybe you have to accept? A reality that you probably didn't perceive through the dark twist or any of these other points here, but really is maybe the summation of what was going on and where you have to position. I'm going to have to replace this deck soon. There's a card or two that has significant warping on it, and so it seems like it's always coming up. And I don't think it's fair that it gets an advantage to show up more often. I haven't decided totally how I'm working on that. But let's see what I can do here. So finally, what is the dark truth? The dark truth is the Four of Pentacles. It's upright. So there's our star. The Four of Pentacles, the dark truth, is that you have a stronger feeling about wanting to conserve or maintain a status quo. You don't want to give up something that you have right now. It's not likely to be material, but it could be. I mean, maybe this is a situation that, you know, you feel like it could involve you financially in a way you don't want to be involved. But not necessarily. Maybe this is really about other principles or things that you would have to compromise with in order to move into this direction. You know, you could almost feel like this is an advancement of some sort, and you don't feel like you really want to go there because it gives you more power, but maybe it gives you more responsibilities. You know, being an emperor or empress sort of means you have some responsibilities, and so maybe you would rather be distracted by some other things, other associations or things. I get the feeling like this is because of a new relationship, I guess. It's probably not necessarily a romantic relationship, but it's something really strong, emotional relationship. Like maybe, you know, you've moved into a new status quo with a circle of friends or something else. It's not necessarily a one-on-one relationship, but I guess I shouldn't disallow for that. What haunts you, though, I guess, is the fear that you have is that you're not really engaging yourself the way you thought you would be. Maybe it's because you don't necessarily want these other responsibilities, and so you just sort of feel, I mean, that's that drama, but it's not the truth. This is the truth, is that you have, and they're tied in, I guess, in certain terms of what these positions mean, is you feel like there's too much of yourself to give up in this, and you don't want to do that. So if there's anything that can help you, then it could possibly be the dark gift, which is our central point here. So going back to a non-low Scarabeo, I'm using the Crow's Magick Tarot for the dark gift. And the dark gift is whatever abilities, insights, hunches, intuitions, skills, other kinds of resources. What is there that could actually, help you in the way of, some sort of sense of a gift. I think it's your own valor and your own bravery. It's the Ace of Swords. And, I'm going to have to say that it's your own strength, your own courage, your own ability to challenge either yourself or that situation that's happening. It's as powerful and dynamic. And even if you are truly very goth and very secretive or very much, to yourselves and unassuming, there's always that moment when you feel like you have to stand up in some way. And if you feel like circumstances are trying to get you over-involved or over-responsible for something, one way of handling that, could be, and I don't know, maybe the dark twist is only going to pull you further along that path, but maybe the dark twist is one solution there. I guess you have to kind of combine it with your dark gift. So now I end the same way I always did before, with an affirmation from the Earth and Bone Oracle set by Syrian Shadow. Put that there for the moment. I think it's kind of a nice compliment to the readings. We have to decide what it is that we can work on. I'm going to let intuition guide me, and I'm just going to pull out a card at random. And it's one we've had here before, I see. It's the Pack. I think we've had this one. Number 38. Inner work, community, deep connections, celebration, soul tribe. Have you found those people who hold space for you? Those people who allow you as much time as you need to talk, if you need it, or to be unabashedly yourself and act as you wish. These individuals do exist and they can be found. Seeking the help that you require is entirely your choice. There are forms of healing found in counseling and talking circles. Some people are fortunate enough to receive support from friends and family, as well as from pets, animals, and plants. It's essential to be able to talk and express your truth to those who are simply listening and accepting you into their hearts. Your story may not be for everyone to hear, but you can find the support that will aid you so that you may align with your highest self. You can communicate with Mother Earth, and if you like, unload your burdens on her. She is compassionate, nurturing, and helpful. in transferring whatever energy you don't want to bear. Examine what you want to leave behind, like a snake losing its skin, or a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, and let the earth transform it. Allow yourself to gather and release this energy by sitting in prayer or meditation in nature. It's important to remember that before you can help others or be of service to them, you must first heal yourself, and everyone's journey is unique. Making space for others to tell their truth helps the reciprocity of healing. Boy, I have a hard time with that word. If you've noticed this need in someone else, you might be getting a call to be a healer. The ability to listen is the first step in the healing process. Practice listening without biases or judgments. Become more receptive to completely hearing with all of your senses. Allow yourself as much time as they need, and make sure they have a secure place to express themselves. Affirmation. My transformation is grounded in love. I am in complete balance. So it's kind of interesting because I sort of see this idea of the soul tribe, the community that maybe is trying to pull you in, and yet maybe you feel like you're abandoning your own plans or your own senses in certain ways. You don't want to give up something. And so maybe this is saying what you need to understand is that you can bring something to this group when you are truly able to, and it's your own individuality. I mean, the Ace of Swords could be standing for that as well. And when I listen to the words of the shadow work and the affirmation, I realize that, yeah, this is about some sort of sense of community here and something bigger than yourself. And you need to take the time to see where you are with it, where you really fit in. It's not always easy for everyone. I know this myself. So thanks for coming to Goth Tarot, and don't forget to watch the other shows we have this week. We're also going to have another episode of the Unhappy Hour. I believe that's going to be on Friday night. That's kind of really like, where does it hurt, but what can you do? We timed this one to be at the fourth quarter of the moon, so as we move towards that final dark of the moon, this is indeed more shadow work for you. So, time to be decided. I believe that'll be late afternoon or early evening on Friday. Also, the Emotional Exchanges, my other show about emotional issues. That's Fridays at 7 a.m. And then, of course, the True Happy Hour, which is a live show. That's Saturdays. That's going to be at 10 a.m. this week. And then, of course, Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. on Sunday. And somewhere in between, there's a live stream on Thursday night. There's a live stream on Sunday afternoon. And then we start the week off all over again. So thanks, everybody, for coming, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.